Why is receiving feedback difficult? Hi, my name is Cindy, your host at the Cindy Urrutia Podcast. Today, we're going to delve into the issue of feedback and why it makes us uncomfortable. I've created a list of the top 6 things that I believe makes feedback uncomfortable for many. However, your list might be a little bit different. Let's start with number one: self-esteem and insecurity. Oftentimes, people who have low self-esteem can interpret feedback as a reflection of their self-worth. If the feedback is not necessarily what they want to hear, it's going to make them feel unworthy, like they are not enough, and that there's something wrong with them. Because of that, people often fear feedback. Another thing is insecurity, which goes hand with low self esteem. When we are uncertain about our aptitudes and abilities, we become defensive. Just a couple of days ago, I was in a group setting where a woman received some feedback that was useful, but she became very defensive and was not hearing anything. Her vision became funneled. All she could see was her hurt, her pain, and that did not allow her to see the ways that the criticism was meant to help and empower her to elevate and be better. Fortunately, after this woman had time to cool down and reflect, she realized that it was actually very constructive. She did shift her perspective and implemented some of the feedback that she was given. So, this was a great win win, but it was very uncomfortable. Sometimes we experience growing pains, especially when we are on the insecure side or have low self esteem. But the good thing is that we can always build our confidence. We can take a moment to reflect and realize that feedback is not always personal. It's actually meant to empower us and make us better. Number two, fear of judgment and rejection. This is actually a fear of failure. Oftentimes, we want to be able to meet people's expectations. And when we don't, that makes us feel anxious. And when we feel anxious, leads us down a path of negative thinking. In my opinion, it's also related to wanting to be accepted, embraced, and celebrated. I think that this ties in with esteem and insecurity because if we are scared of rejection, perhaps the core of it is the esteem and insecurity issues. So I think they go really well hand in hand. We can build our muscles to realize it is often an opportunity to say, how can I do it better? The key thing to remember is it's not always personal. Number three, previous negative experiences. We've all had negative experiences. We can be honest in giving feedback and also kind. We can build our muscles in order to feel a little bit better when it comes to feedback. It doesn't always have to be negative. The past is the past. When we harmonize that, we can move forward. Number five, criticism can trigger us. Now, triggers, in my opinion, go hand in hand with all the other things we've discussed: low self esteem, fear of rejection, negative experiences, and are often very emotional. Because they're so emotional, it makes you feel small. However, we can build our muscles, our emotional management muscles, so that we don't get triggered. If you are feeling emotional, allow yourself space to calm down. We do not need to be dominated by triggers. We can start to learn to better manage our triggers when we understand the emotional reason for them. If you understand triggers, you can take a step back and implement tools that work for you so that you are not triggered as much. It could be going for a walk, taking a couple of clarifying breaths, whatever it is that works for you to help calm your emotional and nervous system. Do what works for you. Number 6 is over identification with success. We all like to be successful. And if we have a track record of significant success when we fail or receive some type of negative feedback, it can be a downer. That's just ego. These are my top 6 items in terms of sensitivity to feedback. Do you have a different list? Let me know in the comments. Until next time.